Hello. We are just getting started, hopping on for our workout of today. We are going to be doing a full body workout for my outdoor adventures. If you have any sort of pain, you are going to love this workout because it is going to be a strength training workout, but it will be very gentle. We are going to make sure we are doing everything correctly, and we're going to make sure that everything that we do today is as functional as possible. So if you are coming live with me, and I'm checking it out, making sure we are live, because this has happened to me before when we are not live, and I think that we are, and then I do the whole thing, and then I forget. No, we don't want that to happen, so just triple checking. Aha! We are live. Oh, it's so creepy to see yourself, like, in there. Okay. All right, I'm excited. I'm excited to have you guys here with me today because today we are going to be doing a full body workout. So if you have aches, pains, or time constraints, you're gonna love this workout. It's gonna be less than 45 minutes. And if you have any problem with, being limited with what you want to do in your life, what adventures you want to go to. You want to hike up mountains, you want to go walking on the beach for hours. You want to travel and go on long flights without aches and pains bothering you, stopping you from being your absolute best self. Then this free event is for you. So look, I know even if you just got started on your fitness journey, you haven't started yet, or you've been going a while, you probably know that the habits that you create will help you with your overall success in your training program. So you have to create good habits. And today we're going to be talking about creating an exercise habit and making sure that the habits that we create while we're doing exercise are beneficial and functional for our bodies. Now, if you've had pains or aches or discomforts, or you've just lacked time for exercise, you may find that you've gotten in the habit of rushing through the exercise, trying to get in shape as fast as possible, and then you get injured, you get hurt, you feel really sore the next day, and then you're not consistent in your efforts. And that's because, honestly, you're going too hard, too fast. You have to remember that a fitness journey is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you want to get out of pain, if you want to improve your stamina, feel strong for everything that you want to do, you have to work with divine timing. You have to work with what you've got. You have to meet yourself where you're at. And that's something that I'm really passionate about doing. What I do is I help people heal from mental and physical traumas from the fitness industry, from diet culture, and from the habits that have held them back from doing the things that they really want to do. So I help specifically guide remote workers and digital nomads get fit for adventure. So people with minimal equipment, people who love going outdoors, people who want to do fun activities on travel. You want to go for long hikes, you want to go walk on the beach with your lover, you want to go do things without having aches or pains hold you back. And they happen to everyone, no matter what age you are. Trust me, I was young when I first had my first injury. I was 21 years old when I could not go on a run, which was one of the most joyful things that I could do at that time. And that's when I discovered strength training. So maybe you're someone who wants to go paddleboarding and your shoulder is hurting. Maybe you want to go hiking, but your ankle or your knee pain always comes up halfway through the hike. Maybe you just want to enjoy doing the things that you want to do without injuring yourself, and you want to be strong enough to handle the repetitive motion of whatever activity it is that you want to do, because that's a real problem with injuries. I say aches and pains and injuries, but what's really happening to the body is inflammation. So the body gets inflamed from repetitive use or intake of a stimulus that causes an inflammatory response, which means that if you squat with bad form enough, your knees are going to end up shot, which means that if you walk with, terrible posture and you're going up and down mountains, there's no doubt you're going to need a knee or a hip replacement later on in your life when you're 50 or 60 years old, because you have developed the habits and the patterns that lead you to injury. And this is the real problem. Okay, so if you're yo-yoing in and out of endurance training programs like running and swimming, and you wonder why the heck your ankles and your shoulders hurt, then when you have a sudden increase in activity, well, I have news for you. And you're not going to like hearing it, okay? But I'm going to tell you anyways, because this workout is going to set you up for success, is going to get you started on the right path to increasing your strength and your physical capabilities, which is exciting. But I want you to learn the process. I was a trainer for 5 years, and I just put people through workouts. And a lot of times they just got in the habit of whatever I say goes. And I found that they didn't really learn a lot that way. And I really loved the part of my job where the client was about to leave, and I would tell them everything as to why I was doing something or why I did something. I would give them their training program, and that's when I became really passionate about coaching. So it wasn't about standing there and making sure all the exercises were correct, which is important, but it's more about creating the right plan, the appropriate plan, the unique program for an individual to solve movement pattern issues. So I really don't do this work just to go look at these exercises, look at me, blah, blah, blah. No, these lives are for you. So if you've been following this community, which I know at least like 30 of you are, and I plan to weed out some of the people who haven't been interacting, but I also really appreciate the people who have been interacting. This community is going to grow. There are going to be more people in it, more people that, will want to get fit for adventurous activities. But I want to keep our community small. I want to keep our community tight-knit, be able to interact and know each other and become a family. Now, there's something that we all have in common, right? Like, we want to get fit for adventure, but sometimes the anxiety and the worry about getting hurt when we start a new training program can be tiring, especially if you've had an injury before. If you've been in and out of PT, you know that, you're worried about getting injured because you don't want to go back to PT. And a lot of the clients that I work with have gone to PT, and then they basically fell back into their old ways, and then, had to decide, am I going to go back to PT or am I going to try to do this on my own? And the real lapse here is when you go to PT and then you don't progress off of the exercises they give you. You don't continue to prioritize progressive overload, and you don't move from the exercises, increase weights, increase sets, progress the exercises like I do for my clients. And that's why you don't get the results that you do from PT. That's why you don't get the results that you want from PT, because you don't sustain them, because you don't progress off of them. And that's what I do with my clients, is that we progress off of healing, like they've been healed or they're coming off of healing and they want to progress off of them. So if that's you, keep listening, keep following along, because we're going to do a workout just for you. And look, if you don't believe me, you can ask my clients, because my clients have continually kicked pain to the curb inside of my program. So one of my clients, she healed her ankle tendonitis and her shoulder pain within 4 weeks of working with me. And she said, oh, it feels better when I do move. I always thought that I wouldn't or shouldn't move when I am not feeling well, and that rest is better, but actually exercise, and your exercises specifically made me feel better. Another one of my clients has a small heel injury that occurred literally in the first week of her program because she started running and she's training for an Ironman. So we're modifying her program to make sure that she doesn't injure herself worse, and we're actually focusing on different areas of the triathlon away from the run, doing lots of swimming and biking and strength training instead to help her progress through her program and get to her goal. And then another one of my clients who has been working with me for months, almost years, has become pain-free in her lower back and hip once she got stronger and became more balanced through her core. And now she's almost deadlifting her body weight. And now we're working together and uncovering those muscles, working with my nutrition strategies, which we'll go into detail during my challenge next week. We're actually going to have a whole nutrition segment on Friday, next Friday, for really going over the nutrition strategies. So we'll work on that another day. So I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to getting people healthy and strong. And even when you have aches or pains, or you're just plain afraid of exercising because you're worried about getting hurt, because you're a beginner, because it's normal to be worried at that point, at least you're trying to make time. At least you're trying to get out there, because often we're blocked by fear and frustration and lack of consistency. But if you are trying to make time, if you're trying to get to this point where you are fit and you are consistent, then keep watching, because you are in the right hands. So if you're catching this live, hashtag live in the comments below. And if you're catching on the replay, hashtag replay. And hey, if you came here from the email list, definitely give me a hashtag email, because I would love to hear from you. And if you just are watching me because you want to watch me for whatever reason, say hello, because I'm so excited to share this stuff with you and get this full body workout in, because let me tell you, it's going to feel great. So yeah, are you guys ready to get started? Are you ready? Have you heard me talk enough? Okay, so we always want to get started. Okay, before I get started, here we go. I want to tell you, today we're going through a full body workout for strength, endurance, and stability. It will have you feeling fit, not exhausted afterwards. You'll have more energy for your week. You're going to have clarity on what to do in your workout routines, because I'm going to take you step by step on what to do. And you're going to come out with a process that helps you stop minor aches and pains from becoming severe pains fast before your next adventure. I'm going to show you the exact moves to get to a stronger core so that the rest of your body functions optimally, because it all starts at the core. And then I'm going to show you the secrets to improving your stamina without exhausting yourself. And I'm going to tell you what to do when aches or pains pop up before, during, or after the workout. So here we go. The workout. We always begin with a warm-up. Now I'm going to reset up my camera, bring my computer over here so I know my workout, and grab my foam roller. So the equipment that you're going to need for today is your mini band or hip loop band. Those are really the only equipments that we're going to need. If you have a weight, you might want to use them for squats. You might want to have that for one of the other exercises that we'll do, but really just a body weight would be fine. So if you don't have any equipment with you, that's totally fine. So here we go. We're going to start with the core. We're going to train our core from all sides, and we're going to get in a warm-up, a quick warm-up first. So I want to talk to you a little bit about a warm-up, an effective warm-up. So if you have pain in an area, what you want to do is you want to warm up the areas around that pain. So say you have knee pain, you want to warm up effectively your calves and your quads and possibly some glute and hip area. So that's what I'm going to show you today. We're going to imagine that you have some sort of knee pain, because that's what generally most people have. And hey, if you have knee pain with your squats, you're going to definitely need to do the free squat assessment that I'm only offering until Friday. So here's how it goes. You take a video of you doing a squat from 3 angles: the front, the side, and the back. You take that video and you post it inside the group. All right, post it inside the group, and then I'm going to review that video and tell you exactly what you're doing wrong and what movement compensations I see, what you need to do to fix your squat, and what exercises may help with improving your squat function and form. Because oftentimes we have immobile ankles, we have tight hips, and we have the knees going the wrong way in the squat, and it's all connected. So I know oftentimes we think we're broken when we say, oh, I can't do squats, I can't do lunges, I can't do blah, blah, blah. But I'm gonna tell you something that it's gonna be hard to hear. Oftentimes, you are not broken. Oftentimes, you're just doing shit wrong. Like, you don't have an injury. You have an ache from moving incorrectly. And I know that may be hard to hear because we all want to be perfect and we all want to be successful at everything that we do. But there is also a humble feeling when it comes to doing something that we don't normally do or that we suck at doing. And it's just about doing it anyways, because the only way you're going to achieve your goals is if you try to do something and you do it imperfect, okay? And it's okay to do things imperfect. So just keep that in mind. But here we go. We're going to pretend we have some knee pain and get ourselves warmed up and bring ourselves a little closer to that little yoga mat, which I'll be working out on with you guys today. Always have your water with you and grab your equipment. Got our bands and we've got our foam roller. So if you don't have a foam roller, go ahead and skip to the next part of the video, because you can move into the warm-up that I'm going to be showing you through the first set of the exercises. If you don't have knee pain or you don't have a foam roller, you don't have to do this part. So what we're going to do is we're going to foam roll our quads, our calves, and our glutes. We're going to begin with the quads. And it's really important here that we have good form while we do this. So you're going to get down on the ground. You're going to bring your quads about 3 inches above the knee onto the foam roller. And then we're going to assume our plank position. Okay, so we have our plank position. Don't let your low back and your feet, like your low back cave in and your feet come up. Let's keep our feet kind of close to the ground and draw our core in, almost like you're doing a half plank here, okay? A little assisted plank. And now we're going to start our timer. I'm gonna give us 30 seconds to roll through the quads, all right? So you're just drawing your elbows towards you and then you're pushing away. All right, so the first 30 seconds, we're just giving in a nice gentle roll up and through our quads, just seeing how things feel, okay? Feeling it out. All right, and now we're gonna isolate one leg. So we're gonna take one leg and we're gonna put it over the opposite leg, and we're gonna be isolating one leg. They're both gonna be kind of on the foam roller, but one's gonna feel it a little bit more. And we're gonna be working up and down that quad. Make sure you maintain breathing through here. And we're gonna take one more stroke and then we'll switch sides. So unwrap that leg and bring the opposite leg over. And here we go, same thing. We're just rolling up and down the quad. Dun, 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 dun. If you have music, put it on, turn that music on, enjoy yourself a little bit. It's all good. All right, coming up on our last 30 seconds for a 2-minute foam rolling bout. Now we're going to see if there's any area in which your quad really felt it. All right, any area that was really tight. So I'm gonna go back and cross my leg over here, and I'm gonna focus on my left leg because that's where I felt some tightness. And I'm going to find the tightest spot. I'm just going to hold it there. All right, I'm gonna hold it there for the rest of my 30 seconds. Here we go. And what this does is we put pressure on a muscle that has a tension lesion or a knot. And with the pressure, we're going to relieve the tension knot, and it'll slowly go away. We won't even feel it, and there it goes. It's gone. If you need to do any more like moves on that, if it's not quite releasing as easily as that did, you can bend and flex your leg, and that will help you get deeper into the muscle. Okay, moving on here. We're going to come onto our glutes, and we're gonna do the piriformis or glute roll. So what we're gonna do is sit on top of the roller. We're gonna put our opposite hand down, and we're gonna kind of shift our body weight onto one booty, and then we're gonna place our ankle over our opposite knee. We don't need music here because the birds are singing for us. Okay, keeping your chest upright, we're gonna roll through to the glute. Here we go. And if you find your butt isn't very tight, or you're not finding the spot, keep searching. You might have to angle more to the side. You might have to sit up slightly more. You might have to turn slightly more. Oh, found it. And same thing here. After about 30 seconds of rolling, we're going to hold on for 30 seconds in that area and just let it release. Just coming into the present moment with our bodies and seeing how they feel, where we've been holding tension throughout the day. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides here. So coming on to the opposite leg. Putting that ankle on top of your knee and rolling through. Sometimes I like to bring the opposite hand up just to keep that chest from caving in. Pardon me, we want to keep our chest lifted. And keep our backs from rounding. We don't want to round or bring our pelvis forward. We want to sit up as high as we can here as we roll through our glutes. And again, once you find a spot, let's hold on to it. All right, so I know a lot of us, if we're in pain, we don't want to feel more pain. We don't want to do things that cause pain because we're afraid of it, but foam rolling is a good pain. I promise you, it's a good pain. All right, now we're gonna transition to our last and final foam rolling move, which is the calves. So we're gonna pull out our foam rollers from under us, and we're gonna put our legs on top here. So there's a few different ways to foam roll the calves, and I'm just gonna show you the easiest way for ease of use, not exhausting our shoulders. So I'm actually not gonna lift my body weight up. I'm gonna put both legs on it. I'm gonna focus on one area of my calves, like the lower area here, and I'm gonna bend and flex my knees. So straightening my legs all the way and then pulling them in. And you can keep your toes either pointed or dorsiflex. They might do or mobilize different areas. I was kind of getting tight calves when I had my toes pointed, so dorsiflexing them helps release, but you can do that bend and flex technique. It's called flossing. And this other technique is like a side-to-side motion. So I'm moving my hips from side to side. My legs are following. And same thing, when you find one leg that's like, whoa, I'm tight. Let's isolate that leg, put some pressure on it, and work through it. Oh yeah. So I'm on my right outer calf right now. You might have a different area that's really going to give you the best benefit, but let's roll on those tight calves. Foam rolling has excellent benefits for helping us improve circulation to a muscle group. Again, help us get rid of those tense lesions and knots that are causing us pain and causing bad movement patterns. A lot of times when we are having bad movement patterns, it's because of our bodies positioning during the day, getting tight, and yeah. So moving into our workout. So it's really important that we do warm-up routines, and the next thing that we're going to do is do our first set of a circuit. So we're going to do 5 exercises here. So the 5 exercises are going to be focused on our core And with our core exercises, we're going to be doing a whole 360 matrix. So we're gonna get the front, we're gonna get the sides, we're gonna get the glutes, we're gonna get all of it, okay? We're gonna be doing an interval here, so you're gonna be working for 45 seconds, and then you're gonna take 30 seconds between each exercise. You really wanna make sure that you are taking some rest time, allowing your body to relax. We're not trying to just boom, 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 because that's how injuries occur. Okay, here we go. We're gonna start with an exercise really good for our core. It's called the dead bug, and you begin on your back. All right, so we are on our backs, our knees are up over our hips, our arms are up, and we're gonna point our thumbs back. This is gonna be really good for our shoulders. And we're gonna extend opposite arm, opposite leg, and then we're gonna come back to the center and then switch. Opposite arm, opposite leg, back to the center, and switch. Okay guys, so get in that position, get ready. Here we go. Dun, da, da, da. All right, in 3, 2, 1, hit it. We got 45 seconds, let's work. Fully extend that leg. You are doing awesome. Opposite arm, opposite leg, working together, keeping that low back flat to the mat. Couple more seconds here. Your last one in, and relax. Excellent job. Okay. Now we're switching over to our sides for side plank. So we're gonna bring our elbows underneath of our shoulders. We're gonna bring our legs together, and we're gonna take a moment here. That was only 15 seconds. Take a deep breath. Here we go. And we're up for 45. I was telling a client today who I did a form check with, and I kind of got in the mode of training her, which is just like my default mode at times, because I was working in the gyms for 5 years and we were doing a side plank, and sometimes when you've got everything right in your side plank, you just want it to be over with. You just want to entertain your brain until it's done, which we have 20 more seconds to do so. But I was saying some things, I was a little awkward while she was going through her side plank, and we had a good laugh because I'm just happy that I don't have to entertain people when they exercise too much anymore, so I try to focus on the form. But you know, when everything's good to go, you can have a little bit of fun sometimes, you know? You can play it fun. Oh, all right, take our break here, take our rest, 15 more seconds. Make sure you're grabbing your water if you need to. All right, 5 more seconds for a side plank. Elbow under shoulder, chest lifted. Here we go, we're up, arms up. Time has started. You may find that one side is weaker than the other. That's totally normal. It's an annoying normal, but it's so normal. Squeeze those legs together, keep those hips up. 15 more seconds, you can do it. Let's go, peeps. Let's do it. 8 seconds, that's it. 8, 5, oh. And relax. All right. Not so bad, right? All right, so now we're going to come onto our front to do a back exercise. So we're gonna come lay down to the front. We're gonna straighten out those legs. We're gonna point our toes down, and then we're gonna bring our arms behind us. And take off my watch here because I wanna be able to see the time. Here we go, prone cobra. We're gonna put our arms behind us, palms down, chin tucked, shoulder blades squeezing, lifting at the heels, and hold. We're just gonna hold here. As we do, we wanna drive those heels up, squeeze those glutes, squeeze those shoulder blades together. 30 seconds, guys. Ladies, everybody who is watching this, you are doing so amazing. All right. If you do want to make this at all more challenging, you can flutter your arms. Helps work the rotator cuffs a little bit more and gets those triceps fired up. Keep those glutes in check. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Ah, feels so good. Okay, now we're moving on to our last 2 exercises, which will be on our backs. We're gonna be working at our core first, and then we're gonna finish with the glutes. So on our backs, we're gonna put our hands under our bums. We're gonna kind of create a little triangle around our lower back and tailbone. We're gonna raise our knees so that they're about 90 degrees. And then you're going to lengthen your legs all the way out, and then you're gonna pull your legs all the way in. Meanwhile, your low back stays flat to the mat the entire time. Are we ready? Yes, we are. Here we go. Knees tuck in, core squeezes, legs go out. Hopefully you got that music playing, because there's lots of commotion in the neighborhood, but you know what? That's what you get when you work out outside. You never know what's gonna happen. It's part of being adventurous, you know? Whatever happens, happens. All right, finishing this out, maybe one more rep, and then let's relax. Whew, those abs really get it from that one. Okay, so moving on to our final move here, I really find it important to intermix the exercises beneficially. So if I've just finished an ab exercise, I want to end with a glute exercise, because a glute exercise will ensure that everything ends up in the right place. Otherwise, if I have tight, sore abs, I might end up, walking around with my low back rounded a little bit more. I want to make sure everything's even, okay? There's always a method to my madness here. All right, so we have heels really close to our bum, our knee pressed apart, and we're going to lift our hips up, and we're going to squeeze our bum. And we're going to lower our hips back down. Now, if you have one of these little guys here, we can make this more interesting. So we'll put this on our knees, about 3 inches above our knees, and we start with our feet hip width apart, and now our knees have to press out, which is going to activate our glute medius, one of the muscles that is essential to good function of our hips. And a lot of times when you have knee pain during your squat, you have issues with your squat, you have a weak glute medius. That's it. It's not that you're broken, it's that something part of you is weak, and that's okay. You can strengthen it. So here we go. We're going to lift our hips up, squeeze them as high as we can, and then we're going to lower back down. Lift up and squeeze, lower back down. Now, ways you can make this exercise harder, you can squeeze for longer at the top. You can go slower on your way back down. You could add a weight to your hips here if you'd like. Or you could stay where you're at, because that's cool too, especially if you haven't done exercise in a while. Why not? All right, a few more here, guys. 10 seconds left. Awesome. All right, take that band off. We're gonna take a little break between exercises. In fact, we're gonna take about 2 minutes between each exercise, or between each set here. All right, so I want to tell you some of the strategies that we have. If you were worried about getting injured during your workouts, there's a few strategies that we've already done that I just want you to be aware of so that you can put it inside your toolbox and you can make sure that you're doing things the way that is going to best benefit you in your training, because when you benefit your training, you benefit your time. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't like to waste a whole lot of time when it comes to doing fitness things when it doesn't work, or it makes me feel worse, or, you know, I end up feeling, you know, in pain the next day. That's not fun. So the first thing we want to do is to properly warm up the muscles, which we have already done. Good work to you. And we warm them up with the foam roller. The other thing that we did was that we walked through each exercise and we made sure our form was correct. So if you weren't sure that your form was correct, you know, you can record yourself, you can look back at it, and make sure that you're doing the best that you can possibly do. My clients, they take videos of their form and then they send them to me, and then we look through them and we see what's up and we change things as needed. But a lot of times, once you get the correction once, you only need it once if you're paying attention. So the next thing is to select the exercises that best benefit your body. So if these exercises don't work for you, that's cool. But from what I've seen in my experience, these exercises work for just about everyone, but some exercises do not. They do not work for everyone, and people think that they do. A lot of times we need to do exercises in order to get better at certain exercises. So what I like to do is utilize corrective exercise, which is some of the exercises that you see here that will help restore better movement patterns, that will help you get better at some of the bigger exercises. The exercises like squats and push-ups, which we're gonna do today, and other exercises like lunges or deadlifts. Those always have pain associated with them, normally due to bad movement patterns. So, all right, here we go. 2 minutes is up. Those were 2 steps to getting in injury-free workouts. And now we're going to continue on with set 2. All right, so we began with the dead bug. All right, bringing our knees up over our hips, 90 degrees. We have our arms up over our head, 45 seconds, opposite leg, opposite arm, and then come back. Straighten that leg all the way. Squeeze your glute. Feel that length through the arm and leg that are extended, that nice squeeze between them. You have 15 more seconds. Keep going. You can do this, and you want to do this because it will make you feel better. It will make you feel stronger for all the things you want to do. All right, go ahead and relax there. Let's transition to our side plank. And hey, if that tall side plank didn't work for you, remember you can bend your knees and lift up from here. If you have shoulder or hip pain or anything like that where you're not ready for side planks, that's totally cool. All right, we're gonna do our side plank. Here we go. In 5. Take a breath. Here we go. We're up. Shoulders squeezing together, chest open, glutes squeezed, legs up. Again, just think positive thoughts while you're here. Positive thoughts, getting through time, putting in our time so that we can have better times later on. Sometimes we just have to get good at the mundane things This might not be an exciting workout. I'm sorry, but that's just mundane, but it's gonna get the job done. 5 seconds. And relax. Alright, gonna show you the back side here, just in case you're curious about what the back of a plank looks like. Goodbye. And take our moments. Alright, here we go. Elbow under shoulder, pressing through, legs together, and we lift. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze those legs. Keep going, you can do this. Take breaks as you need it. 15 seconds. And relax. Whew. Relaxing and coming to our fronts for the prone cobra. We've got backside to work here. Oh. All right, here we go. In 10 seconds, let's bring our arms back, tuck our chin. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Lift up, squeeze those glutes. Arms are back. Head is gazing forward. So we're not like way looking up, but we're not keeping your head down. It's right in the middle. Nice even breaths here. Expanding our abdomen. 20 seconds. Holding strong. And if you want to make it more challenging here, let's flutter those arms. 10 seconds. Release. Oh, okay. Great work here, people. Now, let's go to our backs for our second last exercise, the knee tucks. A lot of people in pain, they don't like the floor work, but honestly, once you get down to the ground, all of the good exercises are on the floor. Like, I really like all the floor exercises, and if you need, you should get like a really cushy mat so that you're comfortable. You could double up your mat. You could do a lot of things to just be more comfortable on the ground. All right, here we go, 10 seconds. Our knees are up, our hands are under our butts if we need it, and if not, you can raise your arms up and make it more challenging. I'm gonna keep my hands right here. All right, here we go. Extend those legs and pull in. Draw that core in as you extend those legs. It's really gonna work those abs. 15 seconds, you're doing great. All right, resting that out here. Whew. Taking a moment to put our band on. All right, feet at hip width, pushed apart at the knees. 10 more seconds and we'll get going here, guys. Take your breaks, it's not a race, okay? All right, here we go, knees pressed apart, 45 seconds, let's lift up and squeeze, lower down, tap. Hold and squeeze up. Try to get those hips all the way up and through to the top. 15 seconds. And that's time. Awesome work. All right. Take a little break, get some water if you need. Okay, so we're gonna go over step 3 of keeping yourself injury free and making sure that you're feeling your best and not exhausted while exercise. So this is not a hard and fast rule, but this is one of my rules that I follow with my clients, which is I don't put more than 5 exercises in a circuit. I just think it's haphazard to have so many different exercises in a circuit and to be bouncing around exercise to exercise and not really having any connection to the exercises that you're doing, just trying to get them done. So I hope you enjoyed those first 5 exercises. I bet your core is really feeling it, and I bet you feel good and balanced from all sides, because the core is more than just our abs, and our core has the obliques, it has the glutes, it has the erectors, it has all these different areas, the hip flexors, that come together to create a really strong, solid core. So now we're going to move on to our endurance portion. So we're going to be working on strength and endurance by putting a little mini circuit together of 3 exercises. But we're going to come back to that. Well, what if I have knee pain and I don't want to do squats? I'm going to show you 2 exercises that are really going to help you get mobile in your ankle and in your hips if you have knee pain. So 2 exercises so you can do this during your workout, which is another tip that I have for having an injury-free workout, which is do intermittent stretches, but keep them dynamic. So you don't want to be having just like a static stretch during your workout, like holding it for a long period of time. You want to work through the stretch. So let me show you 2 stretches that are really good for knee pain. The first one has to do with the ankle. So you come down to the ground and you put 1 foot in front, and you have your opposite leg here on your knee. Again, you can double up your mat so that it doesn't affect you too much. But what we're going to do here is we're going to press our knee forward as far as we can while keeping our heel down. So really important to keep our heel down here. It's not so much about the stretch happening back here, but you may feel something there. But you're going to keep your knee forward, and then you're going to straighten the leg and flex the knee forward again. Straighten that front leg, keeping the low back flat here, not rounding over, nice and flat, and hinging through this hip. All right, so we are pushing that knee forward, getting flexion through our ankle, and then pressing away, engaging our calf. And we'll do this for about 5 or 10 reps. It doesn't need to be anything extreme, just a little transition here as we go into our next moves. And then when you're ready, let's switch legs. I like to get on a little stretch here, working on that plank, and then I'll come back with that front leg, drop the back leg, and here we go again. Knee pressing forward and straightening the leg. And if you're worried about cracking or popping, just know that that's mostly normal. Cracking and popping is totally fine. It's just our joints expelling some air. All right, 1 or 2 more there, and then we're gonna switch to our next exercise. So I'm gonna bring that other leg back here and just knock out a plank and then come to my knees. So the next part we're gonna work is our hip flexors. You're in a 90-degree position on each side, and then your back leg has your toe flexed. So again, if you have any knee pain being on the mat, let's go ahead and fold that mat. I'm gonna bring my band over here and put my knee down on this because it is a little hard. And then all we're gonna do is tuck our pelvis, squeeze our back glute, lift up from the chest. We're gonna take our arm, we're gonna swoop it over, and we're gonna bring it back down to the side. We're gonna do that a few times, and you'll notice it's really gonna lengthen the connection from our hip all the way up into our ab and even into our shoulder and our lat here. And this is good for knee pain because during the squat, if we are having tight hip flexors or not functioning as well in our chest, not staying upright, we can lead to collapsing inwards, more weight through our knees, and just improper use of our hip flexors, which causes pain. Whew. And again, just making sure we feel good and sturdy here. All right, let's go ahead and switch. Just have to do about 5 to 10 there. Getting a good stretch on our back toes here. Ooh, I love that one. All right, here we go. Pelvis tucked, back glute tight, arm up, swing through to the side. And totally okay if one side feels a little different than the other. All right, and let's go ahead and rest. We're done with that portion, and now we're gonna switch to our next mini circuit. So I'm gonna lift this up slightly, put you over here. Okay, so for this one, we're going to be doing reps, okay? So for each of these exercises, we're gonna be doing higher reps, 15 reps for each exercise. And if you need to modify or go down in reps, then that is totally fine that you can do that, okay? So our first exercise is squat. We're gonna take about 45 seconds between each exercise. So our first one is squats, feet at hip width apart, toes pointed out. We're gonna lift up at the chest. We're gonna bend our knees and come back down. Hold for a moment there, about 1 second. So 1 second down and 1, 2 up. 1, 2 down, hold for a second, 1, 2 up. That's 3. Oh, easy. You get 3 done. If you need something behind you like a bench to tap onto, you can do that just to make sure you have good depth and you're safe if you feel wobbly during your squats. Keep driving those knees outward. You want your knees to go towards your toes. Stay in it. Here we go. 8. And if 15 reps seems like a lot, think of it as 3 sets of 5. Do 5 reps, take a moment, do another 5. Keeping that back flat, not rounding or overarching. All right, resting that out to transition to our next exercise, which is a push-up. So we're going to do 15 push-ups, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I can do 15 push-ups from the ground. So total like push-ups. I'm gonna do modified push-ups. So if you need to modify your push-ups, follow along with me. If you know how to do regular push-ups, good for you, do those. So here we go. We're gonna bring our knees to the ground. We're gonna bring our hips forward. We're gonna lift our chest and bring our hands just outside of shoulder width. We're gonna make our elbows go in a 45-degree angle. So elbows come back, then chest lifts. I'm gonna move my hands so that they're in line with my chest. Shoulder blades come together, and I'm gonna press the floor away. 15 here. We're gonna inhale as we lower, exhale as we press. We're going to keep our core drawn in. As we press away, we're going to extra engage that core. I've been pushing myself away, so I slid down the mat. So make sure you're just staying in tune with your body, making sure everything feels a-okay. About 5 more here, guys. Keeping that head in line with the rest of the body. And relax when you're done. Coming up and through to the top. All right. So we're getting in some cardio, doing each of these exercises, and now we're gonna finish with my friend the lateral walk. So for the lateral walk, you're gonna put your ankles in this band. You're gonna stand with your feet at hip width apart. Your knees are gonna be bent. You're gonna bring your hips back slightly. And you're gonna take a couple of steps to the side, and then you're gonna come back a couple of steps. So we're gonna do that 15 times. So 2 steps there, back, do that 15 times. So like this, and back. This is great if you don't have a lot of space. Sometimes I worry about my counting abilities. They're not always great. And if you are starting to feel a really big burn through your hips, you can take a quick break if you haven't finished your set and just kind of bring your hips forward for a moment and then hop back in. Finish that out. Keeping that chest lifted throughout the move, targeting these side bodies. Almost there, guys. Keep those knees pressed apart, tension on the band. You're doing so awesome. Whew, try not to wobble too much here. Stay tight through the sides, and we're done. All right, quick drink of water. So if you are watching this replay, please leave me a comment and let me know what exercise you felt was the most challenging. Let me know if you needed any assistance on your form, not sure if you're doing it right. You know, you can have somebody take a video of you. You can take a video of yourself, you know, close out of the app and pull up your camera. Just get us a quick video so that you can post it maybe under this link here, and I'll look at your form as well. That is an offer for this workout only. All right. Alright, you guys are doing great through this. Let's get in our second set of the mini circuit with squats, push-ups, and lateral walks. And hey, we're almost done here, guys. So again, if you want to do a third set, you're totally welcome to. You can definitely do that third set. And here we go with our squats. Going to show you this side view in case you're still working on your squat and you need a better visual. So feet hip width apart, toes pointed slightly out. Let's do this. 1, 2 down, a second hold. 1, 2 through to the top. To some people, this type of exercise is boring, but to other people, it can be joyful and exciting. It's exciting to feel better. At least I get excited about it. I know I'm going to feel great after this workout. My legs were sore from leg day, and now they're feeling loosened up. All right, taking our time here, just checking in on that timer to see where it's at. Remember, we're not switching between the two very quickly, but 45 seconds isn't a long time, so let's start to get down to the ground here. And if you did amazing on your modified push-ups and you're ready to bring it up to your standard straight leg push-ups, go ahead and do that. One option you can have is to do as many straight leg push-ups that you can, and then when you're done, you can, or you don't have any left in you, switch to modified. I guess I could do that. I'm gonna push myself, let's go. All right, even if I only get 5, I might be embarrassed. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, squeeze those legs together, inhale, tight core. Keep pressing. Think about where those shoulder blades are going. All right, I got an 8, but I know if I keep going, they're gonna look ugly, so here we go. We're bringing our knees down, pressing our hips forward, finishing out 7. It's tough. Done. Sometimes we just gotta knock them out, you know? All right, standing up here. And you might notice that I move very carefully between these exercises. A lot of times people end up injuring themselves between the exercises by bending over at the waist or by getting up from the ground haphazardly. But it's all about mindful movement. We need to stay aware of our body position. We're not rushing into things. We're good to go. All right, here we go. Knees bent, hips back, toes forward, 2 steps, 15 times. Let's finish this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're gonna feel this through that side glute. You might feel it through the legs too. Stay low. 7, 8. Try not to stop if you don't have to. 9. Unless you're burning, your hips are on fire, keep going. This is where we're gonna gain that endurance, gain that stamina. Heart rate's up because we did squats and push-ups. Couple more, we'll finish it out. Ooh, last ones. Okay, now they're burning. Now they're getting there. And we're done. Oh, hells yeah. Boom. All right. Awesome work. Now we're gonna get a little bit of water and we're gonna knock out a cool down. So, last step in having an injury-free workout is making sure we pay attention to how we end things. So let's come on down. Okay, so you guys did so good, and I want to go over just a few cool down exercises that we can do. These specifically are going to help us with low back pain. So if you get tight in your low back after you work out, and you happen to, you know, get these aches and pains, you don't know what they're from, a lot of times a general cool down can help you relieve some of that pain and just simmer things down, because you're just tightening and engaging some muscles in your hips which are connected to your low back, which can affect how that functions. So what we are going to do is start on our hands and knees, hands under shoulders, knees under hips, and we're going to do what is known as a cat-cow. So yoga style, toes down, we're going to tuck our chins and round through the lower back. And then we're going to lift our heads up, arch our lower back, lift our tailbones up, and then we'll rotate back down. Let's roll through this about 5 times. Making sure we deeply inhale and exhale. Pull the shoulder blades down and back as we arch, and round it forward as we end here. Good work. Now we're going to go into a thoracic rotation. So we're going to put our hand on our head, our elbow wide up, and we're going to rotate into our opposite elbow, and then we're going to open up through the elbow and the chest reaching back, and then we're going to come back down. This feels so good on the middle back. And after 5 reps, go ahead and switch. Make sure you end on the opening. Opposite hand, opposite arm. Just make sure those hips feel centered. And here we go. Tuck in the elbow. Let's open up. And finish with that opening. Inhale, deep breath. All right, and our last one we're gonna do is a pigeon pose. So if you do have knee pain, this is a great exercise. In fact, as I say pigeon pose, I actually mean more of a hip flexor stretch with a slight pigeon. And so you're going to bring each leg in 90-90, your front leg in 90 degrees with your toe dorsiflex, and your back leg again in 90 degrees with your ankle aligned with your knee. So nice straight line here, not inward or overly outward, right in that 90 there. All right, sit up as high as you possibly can, and then you're going to turn into the front leg and slightly look past it. And then we're gonna slowly come forward, keeping that spine straight as much as possible as we come forward. You can put your elbows out in front of you if you have the mobility. Feeling stretches through the hips, the low back, and the glutes. All good things to work through today. All right, coming back up. Rotating back in through the front. And here's that other side. So if you didn't get what the back leg was doing there, here it is. 90 degrees, nothing crazy. And then lift up, turn towards that leg, and let's come on down. heart rate is lowering. We're just feeling more calm here. Workout's almost over. Staying present though, not thinking about the next thing we have to do, just staying with it. I do have a few more secrets to tell you about having an injury-free workout. So if you have time, stay with me here, because these things I didn't get to in our workout, but they are what I promised with this event today. I'm so excited that you decided to join me, or if you're watching this in the email, I'm so excited that you opened up this email and you've seen what I've been up to, because I've been working so hard on this program, Becoming Fit, and you know, it's been a wild ride with starting my business, but it's really coming to fruition, and I love that. So I just want to go through the last 3 steps that you need to do to make sure you have an injury-free workout. Okay, this is really important stuff here. So we left off at don't do too many exercises at once, and that's just really important there. So my circuits generally are 3 to 5 exercises, and I do that on purpose. I generally do supersets or mini circuits or even single sets. You know, if you think that you need to do circuits to save time, here's the thing. If you're doing a really exhaustive circuit that's going to injure you later on, are you really saving time? Are you really saving you know, time? No, because you're just saving that frustration to happen later on. So sometimes you do need to do a slower workout. Sometimes you do need to slow it down, and that's okay. That's okay to do so, because then you get the actual benefits of doing the exercise, including the added strength, the added mobility, and the overall function, as opposed to just like zooming through a workout, not having any form, like any idea on form, which is something that we'll get to in a moment. So step 4 is to establish a mind-body connection. So there's 3 things that you want to do during your workout to establish a mind-body connection, okay? So these are really important if you ever feel like you're not feeling it in the right place, or you're feeling like you just don't know if you're doing it right, okay? So that's the first thing to think about, is form. So am I doing this right? You know, there is a right way to do exercise, and we talked about that. Is that if you're having pain during an exercise, you might be just doing it wrong. It doesn't mean that you're broken, there's anything wrong with the exercise, or there's anything wrong with you. It's just possible you're not doing it right, and that's where a second set of eyes can come in handy. Now, the second thing about form is this comfortable? Is this comfortably hard? Or is this exercise out of reach for me? Is this exercise not really working for me? Is it made for my body type, my fitness level? There is a continuum, beginner, intermediate, advanced, of different types of exercises that make sense for your current fitness level. So you want to think about form in relation to the exercises that you have selected, or somebody else is selecting for you. And if somebody is just selecting exercises for you haphazardly, if you're not doing the same exercises consistently, if you are not seeing progression through your weights and through your reps and increasing strength, something might be off. Somebody might just be throwing exercises together, and that really grinds my gears when people do that, because they do. And the next thing to mention about having a really great workout that keeps you healthy and strong and not injured is the intensity of exercise, and having purpose and intention with how hard you should be working. So that's the question to ask when you're doing an exercise is, how hard should I be working? And there's about 3 different ways that you can work in an exercise. So the first one is light. So a light is like you're not really working that hard, and that can occur during almost every workout, when you're doing a warm-up, when you're doing a cool down, or your first set. Those things can all be very light because you're just warming up, you're just getting ready for exercise, or you're cooling down from exercise. So that would fall into the light category. The next one is medium. So if you're working moderately hard to a medium intensity, then that's going to be most sets that you're working with weights. So a lot of times I say medium intensity, because medium intensity, it's right in the middle. It's 80%. You're working as hard as you need to. You'll get pretty far with an 80% intensity. It's kind of amazing that you don't need to go all out all of the time to get good results with strength training. Now, if you're doing training specifically for an event or something related more into the advanced, you're not dealing with an injury, or you've been training for a long time, you might go into what is the hard category. So hard is going to be like your weight is heavy. You are going fast and you are holding the squeeze for an intense amount of time. So those would fall into the hard category. So all of these categories have a time and a place, and as long as you know when those times and places are and you're being intentional about the exercise, you're gonna end up having a really good time with exercise and not get injured. So the third thing to think about is your exhaustion rate. And you can gauge this a lot by your breath. So is your breathing rate heavy? Right? Maybe you're talking a lot while you're exercising like I am, and your breathing rate is heavy. And that can totally be possible, but you can note how hard you're breathing with your intensity. So if you're having trouble keeping up with yourself, you can't, get any words out, then you're probably working out pretty intensely. You can also gauge exhaustion by like your mental state. So like if you're thinking, oh my God, am I done yet? Like, is this exercise almost over? You might be getting tired. And at that point, I would just stop, because you're probably pushing yourself past the limit. You're not as focused and you're just not there, And then the last thing to think about is, can you continue with good form? So this is really important, because if you can't continue with good form, there's no point in continuing on, because we know that the mind-muscle connection is the most important for activating the right muscle groups. And if you're thinking, if you can't force yourself to have good form with your mind, and your body's just going all out of whack, and you're not feeling good, and your body's doing bad form, then you're just reinforcing that bad form. And this happens a lot with people who do hit interval training all the freaking time, because they just go, and then they lose their form and they lose that. So those are some things to think about during your workout. And so, oh hi, I have a viewer right at the end. If you were here, say hello. I'm just about to finish this video up, and you can watch the replay if you want to have a really good workout that keeps you injury free. We went over all of the core exercises. We did a mini circuit. It felt really good, and I encourage you to try it. So if you were here, say hello, and I hope that you have an amazing day.